America's Tier 2, Round 7, no, Round 8 for Hungary. Here with me tonight is Blades, and yeah, it looks all dry for qualifying at the moment.
I will get more information on the weather when I can. Yeah, as you say, looking like a fairly sunny Hungary.
Yeah,
Budapest, the Hungaro ring. Uh, Fairly quick lap here, so we should see these guys going for maybe a few runs, staying out on the hards for a while, and then putting in a lap on the mediums.
yeah, 3 runs is definitely possible, but you only really want to do 2 runs on hards than mediums, because, I mean, softs are not really viable here, but I've seen people do it. Matrix in Tier 2 last season did softs to hards work.
Yeah, it is a difficult strategy. You are likely to run out of rubber on the tyres at the end, but if you can make it work, if you're a tyre saving god, then it's certainly a viable option.
Yeah, only 12 drivers tonight, unfortunately, but yeah, for the next rounds it should be back to usual. As speaking of 12 people, their number 12 car is out on track. P-Dog Payton, first one out, actually second one out,
Yeah,
behind
and he's
DK.
behind DK. So
Yeah.
two guys going out on the hards for their first runs, and
Yeah,
we
only
shall see what they can do.
yeah, nobody's out on softs. That's not surprising. But yeah, so
And it is a
oh,
very dry quali and race.
so
The
that's what they
race,
told you as info.
yeah, the
Yeah,
race will look a little bit more cloudy than this, I presume. So maybe we'll get some overcast conditions. A little bit easier on the tyres.
yeah, the tire temps are a bit of an issue around this track, but not as bad as F1 2018. As DK's now setting himself up for a lap, and shall we go on board
I
with
believe we shall.
the F1? Yeah. Okay, so starting the lap, 6th gear, 7th gear. Doesn't put the RS mode to overtake on the straight, but that's okay. Now down to turn 1. He's down to 2nd gear, then doesn't short shift up to 3rd, but still gets good traction. Now into turn 2, you want to stay tight to the apex and get on the power as soon as possible, which he does. Then up to turn 4, very easy to invalidate and very easy to lose the car here, but oh, yeah, he invalidates. On the
And if we are
hards,
going to see a safety car, it's
yeah,
going to be there during the race.
yeah,
As you
yeah.
say, really easy to lose it on the inside curb.
Especially if you're on the controller, but Peyton hasn't invalidated it there, he's taken it all fine. Now he's going through the
And
middle sector, the Ferrari man. Let's see
DK
what he
getting
can
out of the
do.
way dutifully there. And,
Yeah. Going purple, obviously, as he's the first one on a quick lap. And down into the penultimate corner, it's a bit tricky. You need to brake more than you think, but he takes it quite well. Now into the last corner, a bit slow on the entry, but his exit isn't compromised, as the first lap time of the day is at 18.8.
and DK behind, winding up to go again, so saving the ARS down from turn 4 all the way through to the entrance of the last corner.
It looks like the McLaren boys are out on track. Porridge and Arkaka. Arkaka, interestingly, on the softs and actually catching his teammate. As Porridge, yeah, I don't think he's on a quick lap because of the ERS he has, but let's see what his teammate can do. Across the line, 18.7. Only a
And it's
tenth
going to be a
quicker than
matter of,
Peyton.
now it'll be a matter of whether our Kaka can come out again and beat that time on
Oh,
mediums.
DK's out.
As DK, yeah, turn 4.
Yeah, that's not been a good corner for him so far. Let's go on board with Porridge or Arkaka to see what happened.
We hope they get there before his car disappears.
Yeah,
Come
but I
on,
think
get a
it's off
move
the
on.
track.
Yeah, it must have just lost it.
Yeah, on the outside barrier. That's interesting. You don't usually see a car there, but as we say it at Bursey, beats Arkaka's time on the hard tires, so that's impressive from the Canadian. And behind him is Botthard, I think, just starting his flying lap. Bursey moves out of the way really nicely. Now into turn 4. Oh, and he does what his teammate did in his first attempt and runs wide and invalidates. I think
Like you said,
Porridge.
it's a really tough corner to nail, and if you don't get it right, you'll either invalidate on the outside or spin on the inside.
Porridge
Has
goes
to get that
P4 with
perfect.
a 19.8. We haven't seen any of the Red Bulls yet. As
Juventus was on a lap, and he's just invalidated coming out of turn 3.
yeah, I've seen that, putting the ERS mode down to mode 0. Who else is on a lap? Is Kano on a lap? No, he's 4 seconds down.
Claudio's teammate is on a lap now, coming down
Hey,
through the
let's look at
downhill
the
turn 2.
championship leader. So mode 4
Rides
on
the
the
curve
straight.
nicely.
Yeah. Briefly touching the outside curb, then a bit of a slide, but holds it really well. Then at the exit, the chicane, you can cut it quite a bit in the race, but in quali the track limits are very strict, so you want to stay inside the curbs, which he does. Then onto the twisty bit, which I really enjoy personally. Oh, he's...
Oh, and he's lost it.
yeah.
Didn't even get through to. Let's see if I can remember where what this is called. It's the Stumpchy something. He didn't
Oh.
get through to the Stumpchy slide. I think it's the Stumpchy slide. It wasn't said in the race today. So.
Yeah, I remember it on the tier 3 stream. I believe Imran's on the lap. Oh, it's invalidated, so he's backed out. Bursey also invalidated. Everyone seems to be invalidating, which I had an issue with today, earlier.
And Juventus is back on a lap. Coming up through turn 5. He loses the car a little bit.
Yeah,
He
second
moves
gear,
through the chicane.
interestingly.
Jumps over the curves a little bit on the second part of the chicane.
They don't really throw you out apart from... oh, how did he invalidate that? That seemed all fine to me. Well, that...
Yeah, it's an odd one.
yeah,
The track
fatal.
limits on this game seem
Oh, Fatal's being
to
held up by Arkaka really badly, and he had to back out. Yeah, that's
Kakan
unlucky.
not on a lap.
Yeah, I think Fatal won't be happy with that.
It's a shame for Fatal.
Yeah, so far only an 18.4 for a
And
top
then he
time.
has to swerve out of the way of someone.
Nobody's put on the mediums yet, apart from Andrew, who's just about to start a lap.
Yeah, he was green in sector 1, only by a little bit, but he would have been up on his time, so Fatal definitely disappointed with that.
Yeah, Imran already out of ERS, going through the final corner. Let's see what the Renault man can do. Across the line, 19.0, up to P5. On the
Fatal going
hard
again, his
tires.
battery a little depleted.
Oh,
So,
Arkaka's spun out of turn 1. But I think his front wing is still fine, so yeah. Let's go back to Fatal. Those hards will be a bit worn by now, but they do last quite long. And going purple through sector 1 for the Red Bull man.
I'm expecting to see just a banker now from Fatal.
Yeah, safe lap.
And he'll fly on the medium, sorry.
Yeah, but his ERS is quite low, 25% already at the end of sector 2. And I believe Andrews made a mistake at the chicane, but doesn't hold up anyone. Fatal 3 seconds up on his time. Going through the penultimate corner, takes a nice line, good traction, and coming across the line. Will this be provisional pole? And yes, it is. 18.001. So we're close to the 17s, but not yet.
Yeah, just by 2,000th of a second, unfortunately. So,
P-Dog might be able to beat that on a set of softs, interestingly. But he doesn't look like he's pushing, yeah. He's coming back to the
coming in.
pits. So was that a fake run to lure some of the other drivers? That's really interesting.
Yeah,
Bodog
maybe
goes P4.
dummy some guys onto the softs.
Yeah, quite possible. Juventus still yet to set a valid lap time, but he's going for it now, still on the hards. So he'll have time for only one medium run if he sticks with this. Some really nice short shifting from the Red Bull man, using the inside curb heavily. The sector 1 split is at 27.2, which is really strong. That is actually really strong because I was checking earlier today what Lewis Welch's sector 1 split was, and it was a 27.1, so that's a really good first sector from Juventus.
Yeah, what we were saying on the in the party during the tier 1 stream, Lewis was way down through sector 1, and then he gained 6/10 in sector 2. So really strong through the fiddly sector 2.
Yeah, perhaps running a higher downforce setup, but Juventus now coming through the final corner. I think we might be down to the 17s. Let's see what it is. Running out of FRS and a 17.8. Well done.
Yeah, great lap from Claudio beating his teammate there. He needs to get moving back to the pits.
Yep. Burzy is not using any RS, so I assume he is doing a slow lap.
Yeah, slow in lap coming, put the mediums on.
Yeah, I don't see anybody on a hot lap apart from Arkaka, so everybody just getting ready to go for their one-shot qualifying lap on the medium tire.
I don't think Arkaka's pushing.
Yeah,
He's low on ARS.
I don't see a point of continuing this lap. Just come into the
Come
pits,
straight
which
in.
is allows. So, first time maybe from iFunner. Yeah, definitely from iFunner. He's at 10th up through the first sector. Let's see what his sector 2 split is. 2/10 up. But that is not much of an improvement for now.
And he should run out of ARS just before he comes around the final corner, maybe
Yeah.
on the exit.
Bit close to Connor, but I don't think it's going to disturb him too much. Across the line, can he get into the top 8? No, only P9. But he still has time to recharge his battery and go for another one. Imran,
Interesting.
the yellow
Both.
color on the yellow tire, up a 10th through the first sector. Oh, Andrew, he's lost it at the sector 2 split. And luckily that hasn't hurt Imran.
And it was a well executed stumpy slide.
Yeah.
So we have a McLaren, Kaka, and Burzy coming out of the pits now on medium tyres. So
Imran goes P4 on the mediums. Let's see. Who else is on a lap? Porridge, I think, is on a lap. Currently last, but I think he'll be able to change that on a set of mediums. Really revving out the gears, which is interesting. Yeah, 6/10 up. This might be into the 18s.
Juventus, the engineer's getting ready to bring Juventus out.
Yeah.
Possibly if he'd come out earlier, would have got 2 runs in on the mediums. But it looks like it's going to be a one-shot run for the Red Bull man on the medium tyre.
Yeah, he needs to be very careful about not invalidating as Porridge moves up a position, but is 2 thousandths off P8. I think Bursey's on a lap? No, it's just an outlap. What about Arkaka? On softs? No, hang on, yeah. It's mediums, okay? It said softs for a minute, so... Yeah, let's look at Arkaka, what he can do. Oh, it's Imran. I didn't see that coming. I believe he said 2 laps in a row. So, he's still
Yeah,
at the
you do.
battery.
Jumps
17-9.
fatal.
So Fatal really needs to be careful about not invalidating, so he doesn't have the runner between him and his teammate. Right now it looks like a tidy first sector from the championship leader. Yeah, a tenth and a half up, and very smooth through turns 4 and 5. Yeah, just very smooth driving in general. I believe he uses no assist, so that's most likely why. So Bursey is 7 tenths up, so this might actually be into the 16s if he can get a really good final sector.
Fatal 6 tenths up.
As Bursey comes across the line, 17-1. Really good job from the Canadian. What about Arkaka? Can't improve. And Fatal comes across the line and, oh, cannot beat Bursey.
And
So,
Bursey, Juventus can go again.
yeah,
So he managed to make it round.
he has time to
Goes
do
for a
it,
save battery.
but needs to be careful about the Ferrari behind him, Peyton, but he's not on a lap, so they can both wait. What about Funner? No, he's not on the quick lap, so... Yeah, I think the man to look out for is obviously Juventus and also Bodhard, I think. Oh,
3 laps set on those mediums, by the way, of iFunner. So it will be feeling the heat a lot earlier than most of these guys in the top 10.
yeah, I set 4 laps on my mediums and they felt horrible at the start, so I'm a bit frustrated about that. And yeah, I won't repeat the same mistake tomorrow for sure. As Bodhard going through sector 2 is only a 10th up, so that can put him in the top 5, but it won't do much more than that for now.
And Juventus has less than a lap of fuel to complete this quali lap.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if he runs out of fuel, but that would be a very weird mistake.
The red fuel light on.
It's Bodhard. Oh, great final sector. Goes purple, but I believe he lost some time in the first sector, so that cost him a bit. What about Peyton? He looks for a lap time in the 17s at the moment, but he needs to get a really good final sector to challenge the top 4 right now. As through the last corner, the Ferrari man comes, and he's out of ERS, but that doesn't matter because he's up to P3 and Juventus. Wow. Immediately.
Sticks it on pole. Could have been a 16.
He'll
But,
be annoyed with that. I always am. Whenever I set a flat time, I always want to break into the lower number, but that doesn't matter. Juventus is on pole with Bursey in P2, so it's a Canadian one too, in Hungary.
Yeah, good job from the 2 Canadians there, the Red Bull and the Haas 1-2. Fatal will start behind his teammate in P3.
Yeah,
I'm happy, I'd say, this time, after looking so good through the first 2 sectors. We've got a Ferrari P4 of P-Dog Peyton with him run behind. Bodhard and Cono running P7 and P6 and 7, with another 3 Canadians in a row. down in P8, P9, and P10,
with the
and no
Americans.
time for Andrew and DK on the back row of the grid.
Yep. So all drive through the race, and I think Arkaka will be disappointed that he was only able to set his lap time on softs and wasn't able to qualify higher with them because he can't change his tires starting from P8, and I think that will hurt him in the race. But maybe an early safety car could help him.
Yeah, certainly. So he's going to be looking for accidents down at turn 4, as you say, and as we've seen in qualifying with, I believe DK was the one who went out and lost it on the outside there.
Yeah, it's quite common to see somebody go off there in the race, especially on worn tires and the curve on the inside. And yeah, let's get some predictions in the chat. And yeah, who do you think is going to be our winner today?
Well, I won't say anything, you know my policy. Every time I say someone's going to have a good result,
Well,
I jinx it.
well, Kono said that Kono told me to not mention him during the stream, so I'll do exactly what he asked and I'll mention him. With Matty saying he's going to be interesting to watch on the alternate strat.
Yeah, I think Connor's going to win. He's had a good strategy, so
I mean,
it'll be nice to see what he can do from P7 on the hards.
theoretically, like race time wise, hards to mediums is actually slightly better, like a few seconds, just because of how much quicker the mediums are at the end. So if he keeps it clean and maybe if there's a VSC or a safety car at the right time, we can see him win.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Cheering on the fellow Brit tonight. So.
He's looking at the two drivers outside of the top 10. Andrew starting on hards and DK opts for mediums. No pick
Yeah,
for softs.
it'll be interesting to see how those two guys end up finishing. Obviously on different strategies. I'm sure DK, if he does end up finishing behind Andrew, will wonder why he opted for medium tyres rather than the reverse strategy.
Yeah, I think DK started at the back last week as well, so yeah, he's getting used to that spot. Or maybe I'm completely wrong, but that's what I remember.
Getting used to making those overtakes.
Yeah. And Juventus finishes his formation lap. Everybody lining up on the grid. Yeah, turn 1 is quite tight, and especially if someone misses their braking point, it's sort of a chain reaction and everyone slides into each other, so let's hope that doesn't happen today.
And it'll be hard braking for everyone into the tight hairpin.
Yeah.
There you go. Matty correcting me in the chat. Thanks, Matt. It was the Stumpsy sling.
Yeah, so
Go
4 lights, 5 lights, and the lights out, and away we go. Bursey get an okay start, but Juventus covers him off. Fedel gets a good start. All going clean right now. There's a McLaren looking down the inside, but no contact so far as Peyton pressurizing Fedel heading into turn 2. But Fedel is able to hold on to the position as Juventus leads and Baudot and Imran are side by side through this tricky section. And Imran a bit off track, but it's lap 1, it should be fine. As yeah, everybody threw cleanly. As iFunner ran very wide.
Yeah. And he's had a shocking start down 2 positions. Obviously passed by Andrew on the alternate strategy, so he's going to want to make that move quick. As DK and Andrew maybe come together there. I didn't see any carbon fibre confetti.
Yeah, DK's teammate Baudot, he had to skip the chicane, which is exactly what I did on lap 1 earlier today. As Bursey seems to be struggling because Fedel's all over him, and Juventus has already broken the DRS, so that's really good. but Vettel will be wanting to clear Bursey quickly so his teammate doesn't get away.
Yeah, and interestingly, quite a unique thing about this track. I'm not sure if there are any other tracks that have it, but both DRS activation points and detection points, excuse me, are it's both DRS zones are activated by one detection point. So there is no DRS here until lap 4. As you come across the detection point before
Yeah.
you cross the line for lap 3.
I believe Mexico's like that too, but don't quote
Yeah,
me on that.
Mexico. Yeah. It's just irritating having DRS and somebody gets past you and then they get away with DRS.
Yeah.
It's really annoying. Someone off it, Arkaka at the back. And those soft tyres will not be feeling good anymore. I don't imagine they were feeling good in the first place. No wing damage, but
Yeah, sorry,
heavy thin.
Is it Porridge that got the wing damage? I had to go
No
AFK for
wing
a bit.
damage, Arkaka. Oh, then maybe Kano into the pits.
Oh, that's unfortunate for the Ferrari man.
And Arkaka is he had a spin on those worn soft tyres. And
Yeah,
they're
they'll
starting to
be
take their toll.
overeating quickly.
Yep, and they had a wing ready down at Ferrari, so
Yeah, so the alternate strategy won't work for Kano, unfortunately, but he can still get back in the race.
yeah, the number 14 won't be happy getting wing damage that early.
Yeah, Spursey's run a bit wide, but it's so narrow that Vettel can have a go at him. But he should have a chance on the start-finish straight if he can keep close enough during Sector 3.
And Kano now going to choose the 2-stop. He went to medium tyres, so
I think
he's
that's
going
a
to be
sensible
praying for the
choice.
safety car.
Oh, Bursey's gone out of shape there, and Vettel already going for the opportunity. And I think he's got the job done.
Outside. He's going to stay up. Fatal's inside now, because they will now have DRS, and Bursey gets it.
As Peyton, he might get them both here. If he can get the straight line. Will he send it down the inside of the Red Bull? No, he chooses to back out of it. But Bursey playing it really smart there. Stealing the DRS. As iFunder makes it past Andrew. Andrew's struggling on the hard tires. But they will come alive later on. As all the battling has allowed Juventus to break a 3-second gap to Bursey. Let's see what the position changes have been like. DK up 5 positions, and the top 6 all staying the same. And the biggest loser is Kano, unfortunately. As Vettel's actually going for a move, heading into the 3rd sector. This is very unconventional, but these two seem to be enjoying side by side through these corners. As the Ferrari also sticks his nose down the inside, but yeah, Bursey, really good defending so far, but it's not helping Vettel. As Vettel,
Juventus has now jumped up to a 4-second gap at the front.
Down the outside goes the Red Bull. Imran and P-Dog also quite close. At the back is a bit of wheel banging, but
With DRS is going to say sayonara and slide up the inside.
Very
Up the
late
Haas.
braking. And I think that's it for the move, and now he can chase after his teammate. Oh, is
And his
Juventus?
teammate's gone.
Oh, no.
And that should be a safety car, because that car is on the track.
Well,
It's just off the track.
That's a
So
VSC.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
nobody near the pit lane is going to benefit from it.
I believe. I feel so bad for him. He was leading by what 5 seconds. He had it all under control.
Close to 5 seconds. He had the race in his hands, and unfortunate for the Canadian, but what can you do?
Yeah, he had a pace advantage too, but yeah, it's a tricky corner. As
Oh, and
yeah, I saw that.
P-Dog. Taylor slides up the
Oh,
inside of
Fatal gets a drive-through
Oh
penalty
no.
for speeding under the virtual safety car, and Bursey also
Now
immediately
anyone...
had a good look.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he comes in straight away. I was about to say, anyone who watched the Tier 2 race, don't do a Roland. Don't do a Roland.
I remember that. So a disastrous lap for the Red Bulls, which leaves
Yeah.
Bursey in the lead.
The Horner jiggle, I believe, will be going on down on the Red Bull pit wall.
Yeah, Marco won't be happy as Porridge takes P6. So this is going to really spice things up because the usual. Oh, what happened to Andrew?
I think that was in the pit
Yeah,
lane. Yeah, it
in the
was.
pit lane.
So
Well, so the
must have
usual
had wing damage.
suspects.
Didn't want to continue.
So the usual suspects are out of the race basically, unless Fatal can do a mega recovery. But yeah, so we might see a new winner today.
Yeah, and as you said, awful lap down at Red Bull.
Yeah, top three separated by 1.5 seconds. Fatal's actually not that far behind. I mean, only 5 seconds behind iFunner. And the leaders will be scrapping, so maybe he can get back into this. We saw his pace advantage over Bursey earlier. As the Ferrari might be lining him up for a move into turn 1. But I think he's too far back. Bursey moves over to break the slipstream.
He's going to come back, take the race in line through turn 1. Peyton brakes late, gets it turned in, hits the apex. Wonderful bit of late braking from Peyton.
Yeah, the two Alphas are also scrapping. DK seems to be quite quick here. Going from 12th to 5th and might even be 4th because he has a great run. Oh, and yeah, that's Tim
Boghoff pulls
Waters.
over and lets him through. Smart from the Australian, didn't want to go too wide into turn 4.
Yeah, and now he can, maybe DK can pull him to the leaders. So the Alphas will be in this. Only 2 seconds behind. As I believe Imran made a mistake because he's out of the RS range.
Yeah, Imran slipping back just beyond a second.
Yeah, when do you?
In a second and a half.
So when do you expect people to start pitting? Because the hards do go quite a long way, but I mean, do you want to go for the undercut?
Obviously, I can't speak from experience.
Oh
Couldn't
yeah.
make Tier 3 race on Monday, but from what I've heard, race engineering and talking to some guys, just J Ghosts or LR Ghosts in the Tier 1 race earlier, the overcut is powerful. So it might be a case for Bursey of boxing opposite to Peyton. And going with his strategy until Peyton pits.
Yeah, might be a good idea for him, but he seems to be controlling it fine at the moment. Has quite a bit of ERS to play with. Yeah, they're definitely dropping Imran behind. 1.5 second gap from Peyton to Imran.
Bursey gets a little bit squirmy on the exit there.
As the fight for P6 intensifies between 3 cars, Porridge, iFunder and Fatal. This Fatal might actually get him here. Oh, this will be a great move if he can pull it off.
This will be interesting, I think. Yeah, Bursey breaks DRS to Peyton.
Yeah, so the leaders getting away from each other slightly.
Now drop back to 2/10 behind that crucial 1 second window.
I think Fatal can get the move done into turn 1 here for P7, but iFunner will also have DRS from Porridge. A bit of a squeeze down the inside. But yeah, I think they're still side by side, but the Red Bull has got good traction.
Oh, iFunner falls behind. And the Red Bull takes his first victim of the comeback.
Yeah, Porridge next. 16 seconds off the leader, but everything's possible. Maybe even a safety car, because we know how deadly turn 4 is.
And we know the pace that
Ooh.
Fatal has.
He
Nice
nearly lost
correction
it. Yeah.
on the exit.
Might even... He seems very quick through sector 2, compared to Bursey as well earlier.
Higher downforce setup maybe. Is he going to go for it? Has a look. Nothing doing there for the Red Bull.
Yeah, I think it's too narrow. Porridge to the fence. Oh, this might be a move at the penultimate corner actually. Can he do it round the outside?
Yeah, smart from Fatal not to go for the move there. Because he will now have DRS instead of gifting it to Porridge.
Yeah, this should be a simple move. Meanwhile, DK is really close to Imran for P3. It's Fatal. Yeah, breezes past Porridge. I don't think he stood a chance there.
Sayonara Porridge power with this DRS that he's going to get now.
Yeah, maybe if he can stay with Fatal, his DRS could be helpful, but he runs wide. And that's going to bring iFunner back to play too, with quite a bit of ERS to use. I believe the man to watch right now is DK, because he seems very quick. Just 2 second gap to Imran.
He's gaining on Imran, and he's maybe bringing his teammate along. Bodhard's got a little bit closer, so he is running wide out of the Stumpy Sling. DK right on the back of Imran now.
And Imran won't have DRS, as the top two have broken away.
Just shows you how quick things change in these races.
Yeah, just one lap for the Red Bulls to fall apart. But it's not over for Fatal, as DK doesn't really get much on the straight and close enough to make a move at turn 1. But maybe at turn 2? Can he do it? No, I think he's gonna have to wait another lap, or he might try to get.
I'm just wondering, he had the straight line speed out of turn 3 up to turn 4 on his teammate. Not working on Imran though. Imran both with low ERS now. And Imran gaining on Peyton quickly. DK almost pushing the Renault through the chicane.
Yeah, lovely heli shot.
Oh, it's every commentator's dream.
Yeah, such a nice angle, as yeah, Imran is close to being back to DRS range, but I don't think he's gonna get it this lap, so that might hurt him against DK. Meanwhile, in the battle for P7, iFunner is still sticking with Porridge power, both on fairly similar pace. Let's go back up to the front.
Get the superior exit out of that last corner every time.
Yeah, I think this is going to be needed done through the pit stops, because Imran, I think...
Imran maybe running a bullet setup compared to DK.
Yeah, it might be intentional from him. It's Bursey out front.
Could be out there on the default setup. We don't know these things.
Yeah, anything's possible.
Yeah, and it's going to be a train now for DK to get past Imran.
Yeah, especially the Renault having DRS now, so I think he'll need to make a mistake for DK to get past at this point. And we're getting close to the pit stop window, so we can expect to see them soon.
Yeah, I believe we are in the pit stop window now, so
Bursey
cards
stays
will be
out.
good.
Yeah, they all elect to stay out. What about Bodot? He also stays out.
DK getting a good exit this time, but it's just not helping him with the DRS with it on Imran's car as well. That rear wing popping open. He's getting so close to Peyton.
Yeah, I think his best chance is Imran trying to make a move on Peyton, then using that to his advantage with both of them being bogged down. But yeah, I think it's just a case of patience right now for the Alfa Romeo driver. If I was DK at this point, I would start saving DRS for potentially the pit stop phase, because it doesn't look like he's going to be past Imran anytime soon. As he gets a great run out of the chicane, but yeah, this section is just not wide enough for an overtake unless you have a significant pace advantage. Whereas DK loses it.
Oh, DK at the Stumpy Sling.
Yeah, what a slide.
Great
Loves,
save from DK as well there.
yeah, making his Alpha boys from Tier 3 proud. Oh wait, they're in the Ferrari now, so ignore that.
Yeah, yeah. He's making the Alpha boy from Tier 1 proud.
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, I think it's time for DK to pit. He's sliding in the dirty air, and I think an undercut could work based on his pace advantage. Let's see. I don't think Arkaka, actually, he might be able to make it, but let's see how far back behind is he. Oh, he's 50 seconds off the leader, so yeah, that's not going to be big enough for him to jump the leaders. And I'm surprised nobody has pitted yet. I believe the game says you can pit lap 14, 15, so I think they're all following that for now.
Yeah, and it should be interesting to see what Bursey does. Whether he's going to come in and pit or stay out.
Yeah, he's
3
losing
second
time.
lead now. But he is losing time, yeah, so.
Yeah, and he is coming into the pits. Let's see what the
Peyton
Ferrari
stays out,
does.
so.
Imran also staying out. DK in the pits, so Bodard will stay out. Oh, Bursey, no.
Oh, Bursey, no.
5
The
seconds through.
cardinal sin.
Yeah. That's not something you want to do when you're leading the race.
Does jump DK.
Yeah. Fatal's in the pits also.
Yeah, he'll be going for his second set of mediums now. I'm hoping they like. Oh, he's going for hards.
Yeah. He had a drive-through, so he couldn't change his tires.
Oh, of course, yeah. So it was my bad.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, Titchy, Raid and Baby Raid haven't been able to make it tonight, so you've got me instead.
yeah, me and Blades for tonight.
Yeah,
Bursey.
it's ruined my night as well, mate. Don't worry about it.
Bursey and DK out in
seconds off the lead. He's
clean air.
maintained his gap though in clean air. So
Yeah. And he's saving Yaris, interestingly. I would be pushing if I was him. And I believe the top two will respond. They are, indeed, into the pit lane. Let's see if they speed into the pit lane.
Jamie stays out. Peyton gets it slowed down with the engine braking. Imran already with the pit limiter on. So
Bodod might be
this race.
hoping for a safety car.
So just to clarify, Juventus spun it at turn 4 and Andrew retired in the pits. So,
And DK is able to jump Imran. So the undercut has worked. And if he didn't make that mistake, he might have been able to get Peyton too.
So you can just flat out ignore me because overcut. Yeah, that definitely worked.
Yep. As Fatal and Connor are close, I think I missed an overtake, so yeah, apologies, but wasn't a drastically different strategies.
I don't want to depress the man any further, Titchy. But
The
I
pressure.
can't just go around throwing Juventus round again.
Uh, well, he's shown that he has great pace today, so
On
yeah.
board with Botthard, he makes the late decision to come into the pit lane, so that will release Bersy J.
Yeah, but he needs to pull away a gap now. With a 5-second penalty, 5-second speeding penalty. As DK is already in DRS with Peyton, but he doesn't get the DRS actually, so I don't know what happened. Porridge is also in for a set of hearts, I assume, as Fatal sets the fastest lap.
Well, it should be an interesting battle for P2. Bersy J just run away with it in terms of after that VSC and Fatal with the speeding penalty, he's just been gone.
Yeah, he's kept it clean and used Red Bull's misfortune to his favor, but the job is not done. He still needs to pull away the gap, and I'm not sure if he's able to do it right now because the gap seems pretty constant, but it will increase when DK starts attacking Peyton, so that can work to his favor.
I know you, Alp, and I know you're a man of the people, and the people want to see the gap to the leader, so
Yep,
if you don't mind obliging.
there it is. Only one who needs to make another pit stop is Kano, and maybe Arkaka, depending on his tire wear, as yeah. I
Yeah,
and
sure.
Porch Power is still very close throughout the race.
Real shame for Connor after we talked about him on the formation lap. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah, I
probably gonna
apologize.
give us a grilling in the chat later.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened to him, or I can't
No, it
remember.
seemed like a weird one. Like you didn't see anything, and then he was coming in with damage. It was a very strange incident.
I'm sure he'll explain it to us later, but yeah. Let's switch back to interval, and yeah, as actually, yeah, so the gap from the leader to Fatal was 16-17 seconds when Fatal first had his drive-through, and now it's 14. So Fatal's coming back into this, but not as at a good rate or a good enough rate for now. And actually, Bursley's losing out to Peyton here. And the gap down to 3.0 seconds.
Yeah, Peyton with a very, very big DRS disadvantage now. Bersy almost doubling his ERX.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing I've noticed with Burza. He saves his ARS really well. Yeah, he's not as greedy like me. I just, when I see it at 70-80%, I just use all of them. As DK picks up a penalty, which will hurt him. But I believe Peyton also has a penalty, so it equalizes things, if I'm right.
I will check the penalties for you, but yeah, so Bersy's got his 5 seconds that he got from speeding, unfortunately. Peyton is clean, and
Oh, okay.
DK has 8 seconds, so
When did he get his 5 seconds?
He
What did
sped
he get?
into the pit lane.
Oh, I must have missed that. So yeah, so DK is actually at a disadvantage, and Peyton seems to be the favorite to win. What about Boddard and Fellow?
Bodhard and Fatal. I believe Fatal is clean other than his drive-through. Yeah. And Bodhard also clean, so should be an interesting one to develop on track.
Yeah, speaking of on track, yeah, this battle for PA, it's been going on for quite some time, but we haven't really seen them go wheel to wheel. For just getting the superior exit every time out of the last corner. But this might be the lap where they go side by side finally, as into turn one. Oh, iFunder sends it, Ricardo style, but I don't think he'll be able to pull it off. Let's see as they come around the bend. iFunder has the DRS. Oh,
Oh, the switchback from Porridge Power.
beautiful move, beautiful stuff.
Absolutely wonderful through turn 2 there. Holds it together through turn 3 now.
Yeah, very late braking from iFunder, just sending it down the inside, but a bit too deep, unfortunately. So that didn't work, but I'm sure he'll have
Yeah,
another
and it
go.
did look a bit like Ricardo, but unlike, I believe, 2018 at Hungary, Porridge Power wasn't emulating the Porridge boss and running straight into the side of him.
Yep, true. As I mean, we've talked as if Kono's out of the race, but there's only a 12-second, well, there's a 12-second gap between him and Porridge, and he'll be on fresh mediums at the end, or softs even. So I think P7 is still possible for the Ferrari man. I don't think he'll be able to extend the mediums that far, so he has to pit once more.
No, I don't. And the green light is on.
Yep.
I went on board as he got a penalty there.
Yeah,
So,
we just shouldn't speak about him. It just brings
if
poor
I
luck.
speak, I will be in big trouble. So.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's leave him
And
for
let's
now.
just move away from that Ferrari driver.
Yeah.
We can go to the other Ferrari driver. DK now within DRS range for the first time, I think.
Yeah, first time since this
the pit stop.
slide, yeah. The two are still chasing down Bursey.
I just can't help but feeling that Bursey has this. P-Dog on 2 warnings, he's going to have to be
Well,
very careful.
yeah, he can't just back off because that would allow DK to attack and he'll lose the time. But if he attacks too much, he'll get a warning and still lose the time, so he has all the pressure in the world right now, but can he keep it? Let's go back to the racing point and the McLaren battle. iFunner doesn't send it this lap, but maybe into turn 2? No, just thinks better of it. Yeah, Hungary's a very tricky track to overtake. You need to find new things. It's kinda, oh, yeah. I said I wouldn't go on board with him, but yeah, I mistakenly did and he nearly spun.
If I speak.
Yeah. DK's full now, the DRS again.
Yeah, and possibly allowing Imran back into it.
Yeah, Imran, I think definitely the big loser of the pit stops.
Yeah, he
Kono's in.
obviously dropped behind DK as well. Yeah, Kono in for what I would assume would be mediums.
Yeah, for mediums. Unsurprisingly, he'll be pushing very hard now, and I think he'll be able to get back in the battle for P7. Let's see what the interval is as he exits the pit lane. It's about 6-7 seconds? 6 seconds, yeah. 5.8. Yeah, those mediums will be much, much quicker than iPhone's old hards.
Yeah, and we should see Connor gain at an exponential rate over the next few laps. Gap holding steady now with his cold tyres, but I'm going to switch away from him. I'm not going to talk about him. Let's just let him run his race.
Yeah, let him be for the time being. I'll check what the Red Bulls having a bit of a bad day does for the championship. Because Bursey might be gaining a lot. Let's see, Bursey's on... He's on 70 points and Juventus is on 93, so he would be passing him right now for second in the standings. If he can...
You have to remember, we have to remember that 5-second penalty.
Yeah.
So he's going to need to push.
He started to use more ERS, but there's still more for him to use. P-Dog obviously pushing to stay within the 5 seconds. As Barnard picks up his first penalty, I think.
Yeah, and it looked like it was just on the exit of the chicane. Maybe the left-hander coming out of it.
Yeah, possibly. So that will put Fedel up into net P5. As DK doesn't get DRS again. Yeah, this is interesting. It's like a DRS train, but without the DRS.
Yeah, it's a bit less boring because you're excited because might get DRS, might not.
Well, he seems to be getting DRS right now, 0.7 seconds. And one person who's definitely getting the DRS is the Racing Point of iPhone. Yeah, just the final few corners, Porridge Power seems to be carrying more speed and just getting a better traction. But I think this is the lap because the McLaren breaks the toe. Yeah, definitely for the sending it range. But he goes for the switchback this time. Oh, a big correction, but yeah, all good for now. He'll wait for another lap and yeah, have another go, but Kano's catching them quickly, so if he's gonna make a move, he needs to do it quick.
Whereas his gap just increasing in the last few laps. He's gained about 3 or 4 tenths of a second. The iPhone picked up a penalty pushing too hard to try and catch the McLaren.
Yeah, DK with the DRS this lap. But I think he's too far to have a go.
And the one thing Bursey J doesn't want is DK getting past Peyton. Because then it will just be constant switching with DRS. DK will get past, then Peyton will get past. They'll be so quick down the straights.
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll be battling, they'll lose time, but...
It depends on how hard they battle. They can just slipstream each other. But they can also go side by side.
If they slipstream each other, then... This could be a cracking race to the finish line.
Yeah, Imran's also getting involved. So DRS train is fully back on.
Yeah, only 3 riding the DRS train today. And,
oh, as iFunner round the outside. Oh, beautiful switchback. He's learned from his previous mistake. And some wheel banging on the straight, in fact. Can he send it around the outside? No, but he'll get the run into turn 4. It's not an overtaking spot. Yeah, so he just backs out of it for now. With a Ferrari quickly closing in behind, but I won't say his name, so it doesn't curse him.
Yeah, that Ferrari, that mysterious driver. I think it's the Stig, you know.
Yeah, it might be.
The Stig driving that Ferrari is He's going to end up getting close to the racing point of iPhone.
Yeah, and McLaren in front of him too. Yeah, let's keep on
Yeah,
board
so
with these three as they are going to be coming towards the start-finish straight. The issue the Stig has right now is iFunner will have DRS, so I don't know if his tire advantage can override that. Yeah, let's go on board with the Stig. As no, just look at the straight line speed of the racing point, but he sends it anyway.
Connor, what a move!
Ooh,
That was spectacular.
he did
Little
what?
bit of
he,
little bit of wheel banging, but
yeah, he did what iFunner couldn't do, just sending it down the inside and holding the grip.
there's
I'm sure.
absolutely nothing wrong with a little bit of bumping.
Yeah, that was fully spot on. Well done to him. Now he just needs to be
Oh, and he's going to
patient.
look to go round the outside of Porridge.
Oh, can he do it for the
He's gonna
viewers?
hold it. A little bit of
Oh,
wheel banging as he has to lift off.
yeah,
On
Porridge
the
holds the
exit.
racing line.
Great
As
move down at turn 1 there from the Stig.
going back up to P5 is fatal. Would have had it on penalties anyway, but yeah, gets the move done on track. Let's go back to the Ferrari. Yeah, Connor, I think he just wants to set this up as an easy overtake on the straight, but I think he's going to prove me wrong because he's trying all sorts of things. Oh, Porridge lets him go and gets to the DRS.
Peyton
This
might
might
be
be smart.
driving those tyres into the dirt now.
Yeah. Let's see what Porridge can do. He has the DRS, but is he close enough? iFunner is close enough. No, they both run wide, so Connor will now get away and probably try to go for fastest lap at this point. So back to the battle for P2. P-Dog still holding a nice 6-7 gap, and I think that's just enough to keep DK behind for now.
Yeah, coming down the back straight. DK's got a DRS failure.
Ah, so that explains why he can't close up. Yep, definitely a DRS failure. Well, that's a shame. They seem to have so much pace early on, then just suddenly lost it after the pit stops. And that's why.
And it was starting to go so well for DK.
So
Bersey has 5 seconds, sorry to interrupt. Bersey has 5 seconds, DK has 8, and Peyton is clean, I believe.
Yeah, and Imran has
Unless
3, I
there's a
think.
penalty that I've not seen. Yeah, Imran has 3, so...
This
Unless
has been
Peyton's got a penalty that I've missed, then...
This has been a mega battle between the number 93 Racing Point and Porridge Power. But Porridge Power holding him from, I mean, from pretty much the start of the race. Just some great defending.
Oh, and that is a clout on the back of the McLaren. And that is wing damage for iPhone.
Yeah, I shouldn't have spoken too soon about how great the battle is because it seems to be over now. With iPhone's wing damage, which is unfortunate. Let's go back to the fight at front. This DK has got his DRS back and is immediately on the attack. Borod is in, by the way, for softs, I'm assuming, for the fastest lap.
Yeah, one fastest lap, because he's going to get a point either way.
Yeah, his teammate is diving down the inside.
And the Stig is quite far back, so...
Yeah. All this is helping Bersey. The gap now 4.1 between him and Peyton. He just needs to find one more second. And he's still saving Garrus. That's quite interesting, actually, from the house driver. He thinks he's got it under control then.
I don't know if he knows. I don't know if he's asked about the penalty situation. What I do know is Arbar's in there, so... If Arbar's not been telling him the penalty situation, then...
Yeah, Beruzi needs
Bad
to
race up
push.
in there. He needs to push now.
DK setting up another move with his DRS back, but he seems to have lost some time at the final sector. So he needs to recharge his battery. And I believe Fatal might actually still get a podium after all of this, because how much penalties does Imran have? Is it 6 seconds or?
Imran has. I will find out now for you. So, Imran has 3 seconds. Fatal is clean.
Okay. Yeah, so Fatal, if he can find a few more seconds, he can get Imran and maybe even DK, because DK is 8 seconds and Fatal is 8.8 behind, so yeah, it's possible. Peyton almost out of ERS. That won't be too useful heading onto the start finish straight with the Alpha right behind them.
DK doesn't have much to play with either though, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, he just needs a good exit, but he slides slightly. However, I think he'll be able to attack this lap and ends it.
Here he
Go
comes, he's
outside.
gonna go round the outside.
Carries a lot of speed and gets it done.
Ooh, bit of a nudge to Peyton there, but he lost it. So, front wing intact for the Ferrari.
Yeah. If I was Peyton, I would just stay behind DK and just hope for him to drag him through, because he has the pace. We start from early. And if Peyton well, I said that because DK absolutely lost it and Peyton nearly hit him. And that's put Beruzi out of the penalty range.
Yeah, so Bersey, as it stands, will win this race.
Yeah, unless Peyton can do something special. Meanwhile, Bodon has set the fastest lap for Alfa Romeo. Really unfortunate. DK's mistake, I mean, completely not his fault, not Peyton's fault, and he's fallen out of the DRS range. As Arkaka is in the pits through what I think is the fastest lap attempt.
Yeah, it should be soft going onto that orange boy. And it is soft on the orange. The papaya orange McLaren. Not got anything to lose, he might as well go for it.
Yeah, he'll still get the point because he's inside the top 10, but can he be Boyart's time from a few laps ago? So let's get your driver of today votes in the chat, please. Who do you think could spin blades?
Honestly, I think Bersey's controlled this race since really the virtual safety car came out. So I'm gonna say, on pure driving ability, DK would win driver of the day, but it's just been a dominant drive since the safety car or virtual safety car from Bersey. So I'll stick with Bersey. I'll stick with DK. Sorry.
I think I'll give it to DK too, but we mustn't forget about Bersey. Let's see what the chat will say.
No disrespect to the Canadian.
He's done a stellar job today. 19 laps on the tires so far, and a 6.4 second gap to Peyton, and it should be good enough unless he makes a mistake or Peyton suddenly finds a ton of speed. As actually, iFunner, with his wing damage, has found his way back to the rear of Porch power. How has he done that?
Yeah, but look at him. He's struggling through the S section. Fast,
really
tight
struggling.
section there. That's where he's going to lose all of his time.
Yep, heading towards the final lap now. The gap between Fatal and DK is 7 seconds, I think. Yeah, just about 7 seconds.
Yeah, just about 7 seconds and holding, so Fatal will jump to at least P4. Which
Yeah,
is
still
a solid drive from him after the unfortunate drive-through penalty.
yeah, it's weird because the game allows you to go over the delta if you're not the host, but if you're the host, which Fatal is, it gives you a drive-through penalty. I think it's a glitch, but as Arkaka beats Borod, I didn't expect that actually. 19-0.
Yeah, so pitting paid off for Arkaka, grabbing the bonus point.
Yeah, on no fuel. So
And Bodhod will have one more chance to beat it.
yeah, he has 60% ERS, so it's possible. iFunner, he's close, but just understeers off. I mean, yeah. It's really unfortunate the wing damage because they're having such a good battle.
I think you need to just avoid saying drivers' names.
Yeah, just refer to them as number 2. As number 13 gets a 3-second penalty. And
And
yeah,
speaking of number two,
yeah,
number two is
number
coming
2
through the last corner.
to
Has
take number
controlled
1.
drive, controlled the race. Bersy
Very well
J wins
deserved
for Haas in Hungary.
with this 5-second penalty, but it shouldn't matter as DK gets P2, Peyton P3, and Fatal, I think he'll get P4? Yeah, just about. As, yeah, number 18, been the luckiest day for him. Just didn't really have the long ground pace. Said it was his first time with the wheel at this track, so yeah, it's expected. But still a solid drive with the fastest lap too, beating Arkaka by a few thousandths. That's really close, in fact.
Oh, it's such a shame. It was 9 thousandths of a second.
Wow. To
Those
note
in the
that,
know will know the reference I was making there. But
yeah, to know that you would have had the point if you had just pressed the throttle 9 thousandths earlier, it's a bit disappointing. As Porch
yeah.
Power and iFunner are coming across the line now. After a brilliant battle, in fact, but who'll get it on penalties? Yeah, it's Porch Power.
Stays as you were then.
Yeah, so that's your podium then. For the second time this season, Bersy J wins for Canada. With 2 US drivers, Imran and Peyton, right behind them. I believe they're both running number 12 too, so yeah. Nice coincidence.
It's a shame one of them's not wearing 22, because then we'd have 12. We'd have 22, 12, and 2 on the podium.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So that's your final results from AM2. Only 12 drivers, but it was still a interesting race. As Bersy J wins, with Peyton, Imran, Fatal, and DK running at the top 5. Very American-dominated top 5. Bodo gets the fastest lap point for Australia, and Kano, Porridge, iPhone, and Arkaka completing the top 10. And your retirees being Andrew and Juventus, unfortunately, after controlling the race so well. He'll be looking to get revenge tomorrow in AM1. Shall we get the drivers in for some interviews?
Of course we shall.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Ooh, hello, congrats for the win. Let's wait for
Hey,
the other
thank you.
drivers to get in.
Sure thing. I'm just gonna hop to the washroom quick.
Yep.
Hey, great race, P-Dog.
I'm not sure whether Imran is coming, so maybe we should just start with the interviews, Blades?
I think we shall, and then if he turns up, then
Yeah,
we
so
can have a chat
let's
afterwards.
start with the Ferrari man. So, what did you feel when DK lost it right in front of you? You were in the 5 second window, but then you fell up because of it.
I think his headset's broke,
Oh,
unfortunately, which is a shame.
maybe you can respond in the chat, in the Discord. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on exactly, so maybe let's just move to Bursey, maybe?
Sure.
Yes, great race.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, it looked like you were struggling early on, but after the Red Bulls sort of fell apart, you just controlled it really well. And my question is, how aware of you about Peyton and the penalty situation?
I was very aware. I had someone engineering for me and was constantly giving me the gap as soon as I got it. It was one of those unfortunate speeding in the pit lane penalties, but and then I was really worried because he had really good pace and I couldn't pull away. And then near the end, I guess he started battling with DK and was able to allow me to slip away into that out of that 5 second window right at the end. But definitely was sweating.
Yeah, DK had a slide right after he got past Peyton, and that cost both of them time, unfortunately. But yeah, it was a very calm, cool race from you, and yeah, congratulations again.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah. Anything else to ask, Blades?
Uh, I, it was a great race from you. Controlled it as soon as the virtual safety car came in, basically. What did you think when Fatal came in for that drive-through penalty? No.
I honestly didn't realize he had a drive-through penalty. I thought maybe he had wing damage or something. I didn't really think that he had the drive-through. But once he did that, we assumed it was wing damage or something, and we figured he'd be fighting hard, pushing to the end, and so I just kept pushing. And honestly, I was kind of using him as the main marker for the longest time because I assumed he was going to get back up into the fight. Like I don't know if he got caught up in traffic or whatever. He's a very fast driver, so he's definitely watching out for him and being aware of his lap times and stuff like that as we went along.
Yeah, like I say, nice controlled drive, and I think you were voted by the chat driver of the day as well. So
Oh,
congratulations
awesome.
on the win on
Hey,
driver of the day.
thank you very much, and good job on the commentating, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's a response from Peyton. He says, I was trying my best to get inside the gap, yeah. It was unfortunate, mate, with the slide, but I think you can be proud of yourself today, and especially not penalty under the pressure. So yeah, congratulations. Anything else to say from anyone of you?
Not really.
Okay.
Congratulations to the podium, and thanks for giving a good race again, giving the viewers something entertaining to fill up their Wednesday nights with.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Congrats to everybody that came out, and hope we can keep the momentum going here in the weeks to follow.
Yeah, I'll leave the plugs to you, Blades, then.
Oh, don't put me in this situation. So tomorrow night, you can come and watch our AM1 guys, the fastest from the American League, the American section of Contest for Speed, at the same time. That's 2 AM UK time and 9 PM Eastern. And that will be the end of the racing for the week, unfortunately. However, we are back next week with the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. So you can watch Tier 3 on Monday night at 10 PM UK, which is 5 PM Eastern. And then throughout the rest of the week on Tuesday and Wednesday at the same time, we have Tier 2 and Tier 1 respectively. And make sure to join us again next week. Might well be me and Alp on commentary.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe Red or Perry will be back, but yeah.
For the AM2 Italian Grand Prix. And, thank you for watching, and good night.
Yep, see you then. I'll close off the stream. Oh, hang on. Can't stop it.